Dear Diary, RuneScape's mid-game seems like it has so much to do. I just don't know what to pick. I could train Slayer, get more money. I could also try some bossing. There's even like construction that I could do. I just have no idea what to do. Hello and welcome back everybody. I may have lied in the last video about this video being about more minigames. I'm not done with those just yet, but I wanted to get on with progressing my account. And to do that, I'm going to take on the achievement diaries. Now, I want to get all of the achievement diaries finished for my mid-game account, because I really don't know what else to do. Some of these are going to be faster than others, like Lumbridge, since I've already done that. Very nice. And others are, well, going to take me much longer because I haven't done anything in them. I'm not going to just do the medium achievements though. If I want to unlock all of the rewards, I will need to complete the easy achievements as well. And who knows, maybe I'll throw in a hard diary in for good measure. So that's the goal that I've set for myself. And without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to the official start of Season 2. Let's get started. Like I said before, I'm done with the Lumbridge diary, so I don't have to worry about that at all. I'm going to start by taking it easy on myself and aim for the Ardougne medium diary since I already have the easy one completed. Plus, this cloak looks really cool if you ask me. Alright, so first thing up is to teleport into the unicorn pen at the Artie Zoo. That's simple enough. And you know, I could just look up the answer on the wiki, but for some reason, I wanted to bash my head against all the possible combinations, and yeah, I'm a fucking fool, okay? I'll be honest, it was real late, and I was fully on that delirium, and I just smashed combos until something looked different. Then I would teleport there, and it would obviously be the wrong area, and I just kind of tried again until eventually something worked. And just like that, that's an achievement done. Next is to grapple over the wall in Yanil. Perfect, I have just the items to get that done. Let me just grab those. I'm gonna teleport over, and I'm gonna ask you all real fast. How do I teleport into Yanil rather than on the outside? I assume it's like a quest or something. If you do know, let me know down in the comments below. I decided to just click on the spot from far away and let my dude kind of make his way over and see what happened. And he did it. Cool, we go up the wall and then we go back down. Nice, that's another one finished. Now I have to plant and harvest a strawberry in one of those plots in the Ardougne farm. Oh, I don't have any strawberry seeds. Okay, well, where do I get them? It looks like Master Farmers and the seed stall in Draenor are where I'm going to find them. Okay, cool. Now, I want to do as much of this stuff as possible without going to the GE, because this will give me more of a challenge to complete these goals, and it'll also help me learn where things are located rather than just buying everything in one spot. All right, so here we are in Draenor. This shouldn't take too long, right?
20 minutes later.
Oh my fucking god, I finally got a strawberry seed. Ugh. Okay, let's go plant this bad boy. I should have known. I deserve this. This is my fault. And with my shame, I will walk back to Draenor and steal more seeds. This took way longer than I thought it would have, if I'm being honest. As it turns out, it is a 1 in 56 chance to get a strawberry seed from the stall, and a 1 in 82 chance from the Master Farmer. So not the best chances, but they're not the worst chances either. I finally get the 3 seeds and I make my way back to Artie and get them planted. I make sure to pay this man because I would be very upset if I planted these and they died, because I don't want to steal them again. With the magic of editing, no time has passed for you and we have ourselves some freshly grown strawberries. Ugh. To be honest, I've never been a fan of strawberries. Moving on, I need to travel to Castle Wars by hot air balloon, which means I need to complete the quest Enlightened Journey. I first do something relatively smart, or rather really fucking obvious, and I gather all of the quest materials before I actually start the quest. So we need a bunch of wood, easy. Some linen, have that. A tinderbox, gotcha. Some silk, I'll just take real quick, no problem.
Potatoes.
Some yellow and red dye that I'm just gonna steal from this little house right here. And lastly, some willow branches, which are going to take me a little while because they need to grow back, it seems. And for some reason, when I collect from one tree, all of the other willows that I have planted also seem to need to regrow, like they're all connected via a hive mind. It's kind of spooky. Let's go talk to August. Let's go talk to August. Oh my god. Why does he look like that? Why does he look like a Fallout 2 character model? What happened to him? I'm not going crazy, right? Like, he looks weird. He looks like too highly rendered to fit in this game. All right, man, whatever. I have your items right here. So to give a brief rundown of August here, he wants to create the first hot air balloon in Gielinor, and he wants me to help him create it. So obviously we need some prototypes, and that's exactly what we're making right now. That seemed to go well until, you know, the whole fucking thing caught on fire. Look, even my character is like, hey man, did you not see the fiery destruction of your aircraft? And my dude August here is not pressed about it at all. I wish I had that amount of confidence in my failures. Okay, let's try version 1.2 of the prototype. Okay, seems to be working. There's a violent mob that just destroyed the aircraft. Okay, so this is apparently just a scientific phenomenon called the flash mob. Fuck you, that's really good. Once again, this guy never sees the negatives in his work, and that's commendable, honestly. And after 2 abject failures, it's time to build the real deal. This is not going to end well. But here we go. I got the willow branches, and I got the logs to burn for the trip, and we're ready to set sail. Set balloon? I don't know what the right verbiage is here. And wait a minute, I'm put into a little mini game? I'm sorry guys, this video wasn't supposed to be about minigames. No, get the fuck out of here. Luckily, this is still part of the quest, so all I have to do is press the little blue buttons and we're home free. Looks like we landed near Falador. Oh, and I get a set of clothes too? Oh my god, I love this. Oh shit, I look so good. I'm gonna be wearing this all the fucking time. This mustache has never served me better. Okay, enough vanity. Let's make our way to Castle Wars. So in order to set voyage there, we need a few things. First, we need to start from Intrana for some reason, but okay. And we also need U logs for the trip. And boom, we have them right now. And for some reason, my recording broke or I forgot to hit it while I made my first trip, but don't worry, I crashed into a cloud immediately without the help of the little blue boxes. Luckily, the wiki has my back this time. And just like that, we made it to Castle Wars. But why isn't the message box saying that I have the achievement done? Weird. So as it turns out, the first journey doesn't count for some reason. To get the completion of the achievement, you have to use it again. All right, well, there it is. The next diary entry is very simple. I need to go fishing on the fishing platform. Well, sign me the fuck up. I love fishing. I got my 2 rods, I got some bait, and here we go. I'm just kidding. It's only small net fishing. I hate myself. And there we go. See, simple. We have 2 more entries to fill, and for each of these, I need to complete a quest first. Okay, here we go again with Hand in the Sand. Gathering all the items beforehand. See what I did there? Once again, I make my way to Yanil and talk to Bert. What a good name. You see, Bert here has a problem. While Bert was working gathering sand or something, that's his job apparently, I wasn't really paying attention. But while he was working, he found somebody's hand there. Hence the name of the quest. So we need to go around and figure out whose hand it is. So let's talk to this drunk captain over here. And by giving him a beer, he fully doesn't care that we just have an unidentified hand in our pocket. He spills a shitload of beer on it and he says that it's probably a wizard's hand because they're losing hands all the time, I guess. All right, so we go and talk to this wizard outside of their tower. Apparently he knows who this hand belongs to. We go to Brimhaven. We steal some sand from Sandy's pocket. I don't know. There's a lot going on in this quest, and I kind of just wanted to get the entry completed because it was getting real late. We get some ingredients, we make a truth potion, and we also make a little recording device. Okay. We talk to Sandy, who then confesses to killing the wizard because he wanted Bert to work for free. You see, Sandy paid the wizard to put a spell on Bert so that he would like forget that he was working or something, or he wouldn't need to be paid. So he's a bad person. This is why we have unions, kids. We finish up the quests, and then I'm finally able to claim some sand from Bert. I don't know why this is useful. Can someone explain to me why this is useful? I'm sure it's important, but I don't know what it is. Also, we put Bert out of a job. Is that good for him? The last thing for the Artie diary is that I need to kill a sword chick in the Tower of Life. Before I start this quest, I need to gather a swordfish and a chicken to get them combined, I think. Before I can do that though, I need to, you guessed it, complete the quest Tower of Life. The quest is pretty short and straightforward. This tower is under construction. These workers aren't getting shit done, so as per usual, it is my job to step in and fix it. Also, this man right here doesn't stop lifting, like ever. I'm just gonna walk away from you now and not focus on my own insecurities. Anyway, with all of the clothes gathered, we now look the part and we're able to enter into the tower and start building and repairing. One thing that I didn't really like about this quest was how long the search animation is. It really felt like I was taking so long to gather all of these things that I needed. Once I found all the items from the crates, it was time to head upstairs and fix the machine. I slap on all the parts, do a little puzzle jig thanks to RuneLight, and then it's just rinse and repeat until the end. At the end of the quest, we find out these wizards are fucking monsters who are trying to create life, and they bring forth this homunculus who is in pain and just wants to know what's happening to him. I want to fully kill these guys. Is that on the table? Can I do that? Murder? Just a little bit? Stupid assholes. Anyway, they're afraid of the monster. I go up to the tower and talk to the homunculus. I teach him the ways of magic, and afterwards, he scares the shit out of the wizards. I'm a little disappointed that we don't get to kill them, but that's quest complete, and we're one step closer to finishing the goal. Now it's time to head down and kill a sword chick. First, I do need to gather... Now it's time to head down and kill myself a sword chick. I've seen how this place works in a few different videos, so I kind of have an idea of what to do. I place the items here, and bam, a horrible monster is born for me to immediately kill. And just like that, we're done. I'm gonna head over to 2 Pints and claim my reward. There's a lot of stuff this gives. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen right now so you can read them all. And that, my friends, is where we're going to end today's video. In the next one, I will be taking on more of these diaries. To start, we need to take on the easy achievement first, because those are the gateway to the medium. I know that I could skip straight to the medium, but I'm not doing that, okay? I'll do my best to make this succinct. I need to catch a golden warbler. Simple enough, I go and buy a bird trap, actually, a few, and I head into the desert. Looks like they're right over here, and gotcha. Luckily, right next to the warbler is the next step, and that is to mine 5 things of clay. Done. It's telling me that I need to enter into the Calphite Hive. This one took me just a second because the Calphite Hive isn't on the map, or at least I couldn't see it, because it seems to be labeled as the Calphite Layer. So I wasn't sure if that's what I needed, and as it turns out, that's exactly what I need. Now I need to kill a vulture. Yeah, dead bird. Clean my herb. Now. Imagine just that being your sole purpose. Must be a simple life. That's nice. I should have read ahead because now I need to collect 5 potato cacti from the hive. Just gonna throw up some prayer real fast, mind my own business. Cool, got those. Bam, cut open a cactus and fill my water skin. I need to do the next 2 out of order, I think? Well, at least that's what I did anyway. I need to open up the sarcophagus in the first room of Pyramid Plunder. Another minigame, huh? Damn, these things just won't quit. They just want to sneak into my video. In order to get this done, I need to start the quest Icthlaren's Little Helper. To begin, I need to grab my cat. Oh, he's not looking the best after eating all those hell rats. All right, Gert, let's get going. I make my way into the desert, talk to this wanderer, and she really hates cats, I guess? She hates them so much that she's willing to divulge sensitive information in exchange for me just putting the cat in my bag. Look, I know he's not like the most approachable cat, but that's kind of fucked up. You're gonna hurt his feelings. But we do as she asks, and she shows us the way into Sophonim. We enter into this pyramid. I think I'm getting mind controlled. That's bad. After we make it through this section, we stop the quest helper and checked the entrances to this minigame. And I do this a lot because I couldn't figure out how to start the damn thing. I think I was just choosing the wrong ones over and over again. Because you're supposed to look for this guy right here. And I mean, after a while I found him. This dude was kind of just chilling, talked to me for a bit. I think he's just, you know, posted up for his job. I break into the pyramid, I loot the sarcophagus, and I get the achievement done. Now I need to sell this shit to one Simon Templeton. He's located near the Agility Pyramid, and I think we'll be seeing him later on in this video. All the easy diaries are now completed, and we get this cool looking necklace for our troubles, as well as these other boons. Now let's get the show on the road for the medium achievements. Remember when I said we were going to see Simon Templeton again? Well, The first achievement is to climb the summit of the agility pyramid. So we do exactly that. I thought for the longest time that this was also a minigame, but it turns out it's just a place to train agility and you get 10k at the end. So that's kind of cool. I might be coming back here a little bit later for some money. That is the first achievement completed. Next, I need to kill a desert lizard. Now, Eagle Eye viewers and anyone that can fucking read will notice that this says it has a Slayer requirement. Once again, I really wish I could read. And here goes my first attempt. Why won't you die? Hello? Am I lagging? What's going on? The fuck is happening? I don't get what's going on. Well, I'm gonna leave this for later. For now though, I need to travel via the Eagle transportation system. I didn't even know that was a thing. After some quick Googling, I find out where to go and I make my way over there. I can push this boulder out of the way because I'm so fucking yoked, bro. And use this rope on one of the eagles. Okay, cool. I think I need to use it on the desert eagle because I'm going to the desert. Oh my god, what is this animation? That is so good. I love that. There are times in this game where things just fully catch me off guard, and being dragged in the air by a giant eagle did exactly that. That's fucking incredible. This game is so sick sometimes. For my next trick, I'll be capturing an orange salamander. Good thing I brought this box truck with me, and that's for sure the right one. Man, Settle's gonna be so disappointing to me. I forgot that he used net traps on the salamanders in Morytania. I fix my mistake and I capture this lizard. Oh my god, this is a weapon? I love that, but also, this poor lizard. I do feel a little bad about just holding him like this. I need to pray at the altar in Narda. Simple enough. Oh, I have full prayer. Give me a second, let me just pray the range away. And yeah, there we go. Achievement unlocked. I need to go create a combat potion in the desert. What goes into making this potion? Okay, I need a Haralander and goat horn dust. Do I have a Haralander? No, but I do have the seeds. Cool. I'm gonna go plant those here and then here. Perfect. While those grow, I'm gonna work on the next entry. I need to teleport into Enakhra's temple with the Camulet. Welcome back everyone to Dool's Quest Guides. In today's installment, we're going to take on Enakhra's Lament. First off, we gather all the materials we will ever need. I'm definitely not missing anything important. And we will head over to Lazim. Lazim is a archaeologist? Historian. Fucking dickhead. Yeah, that one for sure. This man needs help creating a statue, so of course it's going to be our job to help him out. Once we gather the sandstone, he is super appreciative of all of the hard work I've done. And then we scrape the sandstone into a base for the statue. And guess what? We need to get more sandstone. This time for a torso. Once again, this man is overjoyed with the work we're doing for him. And I guess I'm just going to be this man's entire workforce. All right, torso is done. Added some detail. Man, I'm pretty good at this stuff. Last, he wants a head, and he's letting me choose? That seems a little odd for like a god or something, right? Well, if I get to choose, I'm going to go with the camel head for sure. Why? Because I want it to be a camel. I gather the granite, chisel it into shape. Perfect. Is the ground shaking? Oh, Lazim, you piece of shit. You used me to make a hole into this subterranean temple? Just ask me next time. I'm an adventurer. I will kill for money. I'm not pressed about breaking into something, man. Just give me a cut and we'll be good. Whatever. I cut this statue up like I'm fucking Leatherface making dinner, and I put all the limbs in my bag. And I start off on my own to unlock the mysteries of this place. This part is pretty straightforward. I put the limb that goes into the corresponding limb hole, and then I gather the letter that's on the lectern, and then rinse and repeat until you have all 4 letters and can make your way up into the temple's upstairs. I'll also mention there's like an actual story going on here. This witch here, Enakhra, is trying to prevent people from making it to her master Zamorak, you know, the super evil god in this world. It's pretty cool. And Enakhra just wipes these guys with a fucking blood barrage and then freezes this last one to death. That's brutal. Now that we're up here, we need to feed this man a cake and... Oh god, that's so sad. This guy has missed out on his entire family's life? Yikes. And anyway, here's a cake. Yum, right? Cake, yum yum, so good. And now I need to cast magic. Good thing I didn't forget to bring the runes. I'll be right back. One trip to the bank later and we have our runes to cast Fire and Wind Blast. Once back in the temple, we use the Fire Blast on the frozen fountain over here, Wind Blast on the smoke oven over here, and then we light these different braziers to, well, light up the room. Now I just need to speak to the Bone Guard. This guy looks fucking sick. I need to pray melee against him or he'll just keep canceling the dialogue. This guy's been cursed by Enakhra to be ever standing guard while she's in sight, it seems. So we quickly just build a wall real fast, break line of sight, and just like that, he's back to being a camel-headed dude. Hey, I think I built a statue in your honor by accident. And that, my friends, is quest complete. And with a quick rub of the camulet, that's another diary entry done. Whew. With that done, let's get something a bit easier out of the way. Cut some teak logs near Urzer. Super simple, and with some logs cut, I don't know how many I needed. I just went until the prompt popped. We've got that entry complete. Now I need to teleport into Polnivnich with a redirected home teleport tab. What the fuck did you just say to me? Okay, let's break this down. I need to get into Polnivnich with a house teleport that's been redirected. A quick little OSRS wiki later, I find that in order to get a redirected house tab, I need to use a scroll of redirection on it. And to get one of those, I need to do Nightmare Zone. Hey guys, I heard you like minigames. Now, I've been looking into doing Nightmare Zone for a while, even before I started the minigame series, but I just never ended up going through with it. So I will have most of the gear recommended bought already, so I guess now's the perfect time to just go through with it. I'm going to show you all my very first Nightmare Zone attempt. I've got all my best prayer giving gear, a bunch of prayer potions, and some super restores, plus the money to start up the dream. I select customize hard rumble because that's what this guide tells me to do, and I choose these bosses. Now I don't know what happens, but a certain boss sneaks in that wasn't supposed to be there, and you'll see why that's a problem soon. Honestly, this seems pretty cool. I just kind of throw up prayer, pick up these power-ups, and then beat ass until he shows up. That's right, I accidentally left a range boss in, and it gets a little close. Please die, please die, please, 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 please. Whew. Now, I don't know what happens when you die in here, and I don't really want to find out. But I kill some more bosses, and as soon as that guy shows up again, that's my cue to leave. And I make it out with 19,000 points? That's... okay, well, I guess you get a shitload of points while being in there. The scroll itself is only like 750. All right, so I use the scroll on the tab and bam, we finish with that entry. Cool. Let me go check in on my herb patches. Well, that one's dead. Cool. Well, I'm sure that the other don't mind me, just a quick trip to the GE later. And hey guys, look, I've got the Hairlander. Now I just need to quickly kill some goats. Yep, got the goat horns. Gotta mortar and pestle this bad boy. And hey, look, we did it. We made a combat potion. Nice. It is now finally time to revisit the lizard. I was thinking this whole time that I would have to actually get a task to kill these things. And I was really worried about how long that might take me. But I saw that there was an item necessary to kill them, so I thought, fuck it, I'm gonna just try killing it off task and see what happens. So with the newly purchased ice bucket, I find the lizard. Oh, sweet, that was really easy. I just poured ice on it and it fucking died. All right, damn. And that, my friends, is going to be the last entry for this episode. I return back to Jar, I claim my reward. Once again, here are all the extra things I get with the completion. This is also where we are going to end the episode. In the next one, we take on a place with a bit more of an agreeable climate, Falador. First things first, I need to check with Serenity to see what my family crest is. Looks like I have no noble blood and my ancestors are from Kandarin. Cool. I have no idea what this means or what it does for me, but as long as I get that achievement, I don't really care. Now, listen, we all know that I can't read. That's been well established many times before, but I guess I'm also blind because I need to fill a bucket with water at the pump north of Falador West Bank. But let me just tell you, I was wandering around looking for this goddamn thing for like 5 minutes. I mean, come on, it's like the same exact color as the ground. Anyway, that's done. It looks like meat is back on the menu, boys, except we don't get duck meat from killing a duck. Then why did I do that? And why is this an achievement? Is the duck population an issue? Are these cute little things actually pests and vermin? I don't know, but there is one less duck in this world because of me. We're now going to jump around a little bit for the sake of efficiency. You know that here on Dool Games, we are all about efficiency in everything that we do. I need to make a mined tiara, so I go and pick up the tiara mold from this crafting shop, and on my way back to Falador, I make a quick pit stop to the Port Sarum jail and collect a security book. This basically just tells me not to share my password and stuff with other people, kind of like the Stronghold of Security did way back in the first episode. And since I'm in the neighborhood, I'm gonna get myself some blurite ore in order, I hate myself, to make some blurite limbs on Doric's anvil. I also need to get a mined talisman in order to create that mined tiara. So I check the wiki real fast to see who drops one, and I murder these poor wizards for what they possess. We hit up the furnace in Falador, make bars out of the blurite and a tiara out of the silver I had in my bank. Hey Doric, remember me from that like 30-second interaction we had 8 months ago? You don't? Man, that's fucked up. And finally, I head to the Mind Altar and create the tiara, completing the easy achievements for Falador. Light work, honestly. Now it's time for the meat and potatoes of the video, the medium achievements. First, I need to light a bullseye lantern at the chemist's in Remington. Why, you ask? I got nothing, I don't know. But I do have an achievement completed. No, I didn't run all the way to the Chaos Altar in the wilderness to telegrab the Zamorak wine because I didn't realize there was another Chaos Temple near the wilderness. That would be super silly. That'd be so dumb. I would never do that. Anyway, did you guys know that there was another Chaos Temple just outside of the wilderness? That's fucking crazy. These guys are not happy that I stole their wine. Chill, dude. Fuck, it'll respawn in like 30 seconds. It was at this time that I made the executive decision to do these out of order. My brain just wasn't braining at the time, so I wanted to get these simple achievements done first to save the longer ones for later. So I pickpocket a guard real fast, I grapple over this wall right here. So these grapple spots have come up a few times. They really seem obsolete if I'm being honest. Like, I don't see many people walking around with a crossbow and a grappling hook just to use these shortcuts. And I put this in parentheses because the animation really isn't that short. Let me know down in the comments if y'all like to play Batman and use these grappling spots often. I then put on full initiate gear, I head over to the Guthix altar while praying the range away, and pray to refill my prayer. How many times did I just say pray in that one sentence? Too many. Then I need to chop down a willow and burn the logs. I've planted a willow so many times in this tree patch, I'm surprised that it didn't count. But I know that the game wants me to chop down these specific trees right here. I light the fire, and boom, the achievement is popped. Now I'm going to place a scarecrow in the Falador farm. In order to make one of these, I need a sack of hay, a bronze spear, and a watermelon. Luckily, I have all of those materials, so with the spear and an empty sack, I head to the farm and fill it with hay. But not before I pet this dog. Oh, hell yeah, that's a cute pup. Sack has been filled, and oh, I forgot the watermelon. Okay, now that that's been acquired, I mash these things together, create a scarecrow, and place it in this flower patch. Now I need to kill a Mogre at Mudskipper Point. This is a mini quest, so it's very quick. Essentially, I need to talk to Skippy here. They are drunk as shit, so I splash water all over them to sober them up. Now they're cold and won't talk to me, so I give them a nice bit of nettle tea that I prepared prior to visiting them. And finally, to help with their hangover, I make my patented hangover cure from Plague City. Once that's all taken care of, Skippy tells me that they were fishing with bombs, and some ogres that live under the sea were not too happy about that and beat Skippy's ass. They tell me that the Slayer Master has the explosives, so if I wanted to try my hand at it, I'd have to go to them and buy them. And you know what? I do want to try my hand at some explosive fishing. I buy the fishing explosive, I head to Mudskipper Point, draped in my best combat gear, and I really need to upgrade this stuff, don't I? One bomb later, the Mogre is pissed as all fuck and dies like a chump. The next 2 diary entries requires someone with a gift for the arts, let's say. I need to craft a basket on the loom in Falador and mine some gold at the crafting guild. So I head to the guild first, and wow, I guess I'm underdressed. I've never entered into here before, so I guess I need to go buy myself the right clothes for the job. I also gather some branches for the basket while I'm in Varrock. I do that, and then I'm able to enter into the crafting guild and mine some gold. And then create the basket? Perfect. Now there is only 1 diary entry left. Visit the Port Sarim rat pits. I'm going to level with you all right now. I've been really enjoying doing these diary entries. It's very chill. I get to see a lot of the game, and I don't really have to grind all that much as of right now. I was enjoying them. Because let me tell you, this diary entry is the worst one so far. In order to enter into the Port Sarim rat pits, I need partial completion of rat catchers. Oh. Okay, that's fine. No problem. It looks like I need to complete Icthlarin's little helper first, though. Okay, let's get that out of the way real fast. So I pick up where I left off, and I talk to this Sphinx who's a real dickhead, but since I have a cat with me, they'll help me out. I solve their riddle, and I am told that the High Priest is in need of some help, and I should go talk to him. It seems I'm well known around these parts for fucking up real bad. I let the priest know that I'm here to help, and that I was mind controlled, so it's really not my fault. I can't help them with the plague situation, but I can right the wrongs that I apparently did. We make our way back into the tomb with an urn the priest gave me, and we're hit with a flashback back to when we were hypnotized and we stole this urn and killed its guardian. Oops. But we place it back where it belongs and all is good now, right? Oh, no. We have to now perform a ritual to reconsecrate the tomb. And since this is apparently my fault, according to this priest, of course we will help them out. After a few stops at the local shops, we're able to get this holy symbol, which is the key piece for the ritual. As we enter into the tomb once again, we are hit with another flashback, and this one shows us that we hid an unholy symbol to corrupt the ritual within the chamber where it's taking place. I warn the priest, I kill the man that's been possessed, and I complete the ritual, and I also get to see that Icthlarin is this world's Anubis, which is sick as fuck, honestly. They're the ones that broke me out of the mind control. Thanks for that, by the way. And we complete the quest. All of this to get a cat speak amulet. Yo, Gert, what's good? Oh, you're a fucked up little guy, aren't you? Well, I'm just gonna move on from that. It is now time to take on rat catchers. I have watched by release, and I remember Jimmy making an entire video solely on this quest. I still forgot and was not prepared for how bad this was. This isn't just a quest of all time. This might be one of the worst quests in the game. I won't go too much into why it's bad in terms of dialogue or story. Jimmy has that covered in a great video already. But man, this shit is rough. So, there's apparently some people that Gertrude wants to introduce me to, so we head into the dank sewers of Varrock and meet with just caricatures of British people. This is how, like, me and my friends would speak in British if we wanted to just act out stereotypes. Whatever. We need to prove that we have the chops to catch some rats. Alright, Gert, it's your time to shine. After catching 8 rats, which seems like a lot for just a test, we are then referred to a Jimmy over in Ardougne. He tells us that he has a job for us disposing of some rats, but in a hush-hush manner as to not damage the reputation of the homeowner. Now, I didn't look at the wiki at all for this quest, and it's only now, looking back at it to get some of the details correct for this script, that it mentions that I should be prepared to spend 45 plus minutes in this fucking section. Why? Because we need to solid snake this shit. Okay, that's not too bad, right? Wrong. The guards have fucking ESP, and they can see you with their backs turned or around a fucking corner. I thought, oh man, this garden section is a little tough. I got sent back a few times, but I'm sure once I'm in the mansion, it'll be better. No, Fuck you, it's not, it's much worse. Sometimes you'll climb this little trellis and there'll just be a guard in the room. What can you do? Nothing. You can go fuck yourself. That's what you can do. Oh my God. I was fucking losing it. I don't usually have live audio recording because I feel like I do better with a script, but just listen to this. All right, his back is turned. Oh, God fucking damn it. I didn't even move. Fuck. All right, here we go. Are you fucking kidding me? What do you mean? Okay, put over here. No shot does he get me there. I was a broken man. This section took me so long. And when I finally finished, guess what? The quest isn't done. Not even close. And at this point, I'm starting to think, oh, well, it just says I need to start rat catchers. So maybe I can just go into Port Sarim now. Nope. The face just keeps telling me that I have no business down there. So I just have to keep going on with this quest. After the mansion fiasco, I go talk to someone named Hook-Nosed Jack. This dude needs some more rats killed, so we poison some cheese, kill a bunch of rats, but there's a problem. A giga rat is still alive after all of that, and we need to go kill it. Okay, that's simple enough. I'll just get on my gear and wait. What do you mean that Gert has to fight the rat? Oh, because it's in a hole in the wall that I can't fit through? Fine. With some fish in my inventory, I tell Gert to go fuck this rat up, and he doesn't do a great job of it. In fact, he backs out even though it looked like he had half his HP left. All right, round 2. This time it's all or nothing. And eventually, Gert is triumphant. Now we have to go talk to someone named Smokin' Joe, a dwarf in Keldagrim. I know I said I wouldn't talk about the dialogue very much, but Jesus fucking Christ, is my guy a dwarf racist now? What is happening to me with this quest? What has this quest done to my sweet adventurer? For Joe, it's more of the same shit. He needs some rats killed, so we do exactly that, but this time with some smoke, and it doesn't work the first few times, so Gert helps me out, but not before basically telling me that I'm a fucking moron. Who cares at this point, Gert? Just get in there and do your worst. After Joe, we can finally talk to the face and Fell Crash, and woo, we did the medium achievements. I'm dead inside, and I will not let this quest be unfinished after it's put me through so much. When the diary said partial completion, I really wasn't expecting 99% of the quest to be completed, so I put on a brave face and I keep moving forward. We need to snake charm these rats or something. I talked to Ali the snake charmer over in Paul Nivnich, and after some really shitty negotiation tactics, I pay him 100 coins to get the music scroll that he's been holding on to. I pick up the snake charm from my inventory and play the tunes just outside the rat pit tunnel, and now all of the rats are doing a little conga jig, and they just jump into the sea. All right, cool. We then return to Felcrash and complete this godforsaken quest. I don't drink, but man, I need one after this quest. Regardless, I return to Cerebral and claim my new shield. Oh boy, that was something. We are going to go ahead and end the episode here. And the next one, we channel my inner Viking heritage. That's probably not true. I don't think I have any of that in my history. And take on the Fremennik diary entries. I've spent almost no time in the greater Relica area, so because of that, I have nearly none of these diary entries completed. So just like with the last episodes, let's get the easy achievements out of the way first. These are going to be done all out of order for no particular reason other than that's how I completed them. First up, we're going to change our boots at Yrsa's store. And well, I didn't really change my boots as much as I just opened up her shop. But I got the entry, and you know that's all I care about right now. After that, we are going to collect 5 snape grass from Waterbirth Island. Easy pickings. Bye, Waterbirth. I'll be back in like, I don't know, 15 minutes-ish. Time for some light crime. Browse this shop over here. Holy shit, condensed gold is a little expensive. I now catch a cerulean twitch, simple enough. And I need to gather some silver from these rocks over here and craft a tiara and relica. I'm not sure why tiaras keep coming up in these diaries. I don't know, maybe a princess wrote them. Jokes are the funniest when you have to explain them, right? Chop and burn some wood, fill her up, and we're done with all the easy achievements. Lovely. Now we move on to the medium entries. I need to slay a brine rat. To do this, I need... oh no. Partial credit of Olaf's quest. Well, we all know how that went last time, so hopefully it won't be as bad as rat catchers. Olaf's quest is all about covering up your own failures. Honestly, who can't relate to that a little bit, right? Olaf over here is looking for his grandfather's treasure, and well, you see that boat over there? Yeah, that's Olaf's, and as you can see, it's not in the best of shape. So we decided to help this poor guy out. He wants our help fabricating his journey for his family so they won't be disappointed in him. We need to gather some wood from this windswept tree up here, that way Olaf can make some carvings? Hey man, I'm no artist, but just between you and I, these things look like ass. Are you sure this is what you want to be doing? Well, I guess so. So I'm now Olaf's personal Amazon Prime service, and I deliver these works of art to his family and uphold his lie. Okay, so here's the thing. All you guys have to do is turn up your draw distance and you can see Olaf from here. Like, he's not that far. But they buy the lie and we return to Olaf, whose fire has gone out and is now freezing to death. Rather than return to Relica and admit he's a fraud, he wants us to solve his problems for him. Of course he does. We light these damp planks and give him some food. Dude, is there anything you can do on your own? Olaf then tells us that the map he's been taunting us with has probably been cursed this whole time. So when did you find that out? Was it before or after your life went to shit? The map tells us that the X marks the spot area is right next to the windswept tree we cut down earlier. We do a little dig down and fall into the dank cave. Oh, I see some brine rats. Nice, I'm just gonna kill one of those for the entry. But I decided I feel bad for Olaf, so I'm gonna help him and I'm gonna finish this poor man's quest. Making my way to the door, we rearrange the image into a skull and crossbone. I'm sure that's not an indication of danger or anything. And make it into the next section. Here we need to cross this dilapidated bridge, so we begin repairing it and, well, you can fall. Okay. Cool. Oh, I fell. All right, here we go. Oh. All right, please let me cross this time. Of course not. Fucking finally, I make it across the bridge and face Sven's skeletal sentinel. That has a nice ring to it. So I didn't bring any actual weapons or stuff to fight. Not really. So we're just gonna chop this dude down like he's a goddamn tree. He falls and that is quest complete. The next few entries are much faster. I need to travel to the Snowy Hunter area via Eagle. Oh hell yeah, we get to see this animation again. It's just as good the second time. I need to mine some coal right here and steal some fish from the stalls. Now it's time to travel to Miscellanea via the fairy ring and catch a snowy night. All done. All very simple entries and not very medium achievement of you, RuneScape, but honestly you won't hear me complaining. Okay, pick up my pet rock from my player-owned house Menagerie. I don't know what 90% of those words mean. Time to look it up and see. Oh, okay, so I need to build a menagerie, which is a room in my house. In order to do that, I need 37 construction. I am currently level 34. Okay, cool, I'm not too far off of that. And according to the wiki guide on construction, the best way to level at my current bracket is through oak larders. So I check my inventory and pull all the oak planks I have and make my way to my house. I pretty much just rinse and repeat this process until I run out of oak planks. Then, as anyone would, I go and deforest lumberage a little bit, turn those oak logs into oak planks, and back to the house I go. The trips were pretty simple. I was able to make 2 or 3 larders per inventory. I would then teleport back to Lumbridge, head down to the food/bank chest, gather the planks, tele back to my house, over and over again. And I felt a cool little rhythm doing this. Once I reached the desired level of 37, I get myself some money from my bank, buy a new room for my house, the Menagerie, for all of my pets. One of them, I think. I place Stallone in the Menagerie, and then pick him up. Awesome. Achievement complete. Now we move on to the next quest requirement, and that is to mine some gold at the Arzinian mine, which requires partial completion of Between a Rock. That also means that I have to complete Dwarf Cannon first, so let's take care of that. Dwarf Cannon is a pretty straightforward quest. Captain, log off. You telling me to log off now? No, I won't do that. Captain Logoff here and his blackguards are having trouble with the goblin incursion. You mean these level 2 goblins right here? Okay, sure. I'll bite. What do you need done? I have to repair these 6 broken railings and... Ow. Fuck. Shit. Ow, my thumb. After hitting my thumb about 10,000 times, I report back to Logoff. He tells us that communication has gone silent from the watchtower and we need to go check it out. So, one checking it out later reveals that the guard up there is dead as hell. He's probably been dead for a while, considering he's all bones at this point. We are the bearer of bad news to Logoff. This news hits him hard. He tells us that this dwarf was named Gilab, and he has a son named Lulk, who has gone missing. So, guess what? We're gonna go find that missing child. Following the quest helper, we enter into the Goblin Cave, run over to the marked crate, and set the child free. Holy shit, you're tiny. And then, he fades into oblivion, never to be seen again. Once we return, Logoff thanks us for finding the child by giving us more work to do. Great. We need to fix his cannon. We do that, and now he admits that he doesn't know how to make ammo for this thing. A trip to Ice Mountain later, with the ammo mold and instructions procured from Lulodian, we return one final time and claim our reward from Logoff. Now it's time to start Between a Rock. To begin, we head into Keldagrim and speak with Dondakin. I'm gonna shorten that name. A dwarf who is literally throwing money into a wall and trying to break it open. We have nothing better to do, so we agree to help this guy out in investigating this wall. We talk to an engineer who refers us to Rolad over in Ice Mountain for more information. Rolad tells us the book we seek has a few pages missing, and of course, it's going to be our job to find them. One of the pages is in a minecart. Okay, I can see someone dropping that in here. The next page is obtained by killing a scorpion? Okay. How did that happen? How did a scorpion get the page? We get the last one and it's in some clay? Okay, does someone want to explain to me how these pages got placed in the most esoteric spots? Like, how does it even get inside the clay? Did someone just place it here for me to find? Yeah, this is a video game, and the devs placed all these things in very specific spots for you, the player, to find. Duh. A small aside, I love that once we have all the pages, the options to talk to Rolad are, of course, and of course, lie. I'm sure there are differences in what this means, but just looking at it is funny to me. We go back to Don, with some gold in my inventory, and tell him what we've found. Oh, so you want something that is stronger than the strongest metals in this entire world? I got just the thing for you. How about some gold? Desperate for anything to work, Don humors us and has us build a gold cannonball. With the gold cannonball made, we fire it from the cannon, and to our surprise, it doesn't make contact with the wall. It just seems to kind of phase through it. So of course, Don then has the brilliant idea of launching me from the cannon. Being the immortal god that we are, we agree, and we set off to find the schematics to change the cannon so it can fit me inside of it, also to make a gold helmet. There are 4 schematics in total. We get one right away from Don. There is one in the last page of the dwarf lore book that we helped put back together. You get the 3rd from the engineer we spoke to earlier. I craft my helm while I'm at it. And lastly, we need to speak to our old friend Korvac, who is holding the 4th one. But of course, he wants a fucking drink first. My adventurer has had enough of this buy me a drink first bullshit. I love this section of dialogue. It's so good. The devs know that it's become a bit of a cliche in these questions to buy a drink first and it'll solve all your problems. It's so funny. I love this shit. After we get all the schematics, we shimmy them all together to get this jumbled mess. But if a dwarf can read it, that's all I care about. I equip my fighting gear and head to Dawn to finish up this quest. This is seeming like another 99% quest completion requirement for a diary, but I didn't mind this one nearly as much as Ratcatcher's, and I'm gonna guess that most people would agree with me on that. With all things set in motion, it was time to get stuffed into the cannon, immediately regret my life choices, and get fucking sent into this wall. Miraculously, we do not immediately die of blunt force trauma, but instead slip right into a place between the worlds, it seems. Here's the gold vein that we need to mine, and beautiful. That is an achievement done. And I know this quest is nearly done, so I gather more gold, talk to this wall of fire, and I kill the spirit that approaches me. That's quest complete. There's just one more entry to take care of, and that is to visit the Lighthouse from Waterbirth Island. To do this, I need to traverse the Waterbirth dungeon. And let me tell you, it didn't go very well. I decided to try to go in blind at first, and I was almost immediately lost as to what to do. I ran over to this door and I found myself not being able to open it, but I did notice, or maybe I remembered from my time watching RuneScape, that there was a spot for something to be placed on, and I thought, hey, I have a rock that can maybe fill that spot. So I grabbed Stallone, put him in my bag, and I head back into this next section and get stuck. I had no idea what I was doing, so I did what anyone else would, and I looked up a fucking guide. Turns out you need a rune throwing axe to bypass this little tri-lock thing. I don't really know if there's another way, but that's what the guide suggested, so that's what I did. And I still struggled because I just threw the axe and I didn't use the special attack of these axes. I don't know who found out all this stuff, but there's a lot. There's so much to this game that it just never explains to you. And I know that's part of the charm, but it can also be a little frustrating for a new player, just feeling stuck like that. After unlocking this section, I head down the ladder and find myself in hell. All of these different monsters attack with the 3 different attack types, so I have to prayer swap so I don't just flat out die. This is light work for most seasoned players, but for me, I am shitting my pants the entire time trying not to die down here. I follow the guide through all the different rooms and sections and finally make it past the Dagannoth King's zone and up into the lighthouse. Whew, okay, that was tough. I'm able to claim my reward and check off the Fremennik Medium Achievement Diaries. And that is where we are going to end today's episode. And the next one, we head into Kandarin. Don't have much to say about that, so until then. To begin, I want to say that both of these diaries in its entirety were definitely the easiest so far. There were no quest requirements that I hadn't already finished, and same goes for the level requirements. So I thought for this easy section, instead of rattling off what I do, I would rather show you on screen the completions and talk a little bit about the diaries themselves. I've mentioned before that I'm very much enjoying these diaries, but I think they're becoming some of my favorite content in the game. There's a few reasons for that. First of all, there is a clear goal set. This game has tons of different things that you can set as a goal, but there is almost no roadmap as to how to achieve that goal. This is one of the great things about RuneScape, but it's also something that I kind of struggle with. The amount of freedom you get while playing is unlike anything else, but I might be in the minority when I say I like having a clear goal that I can see progress being made towards. This allows me to focus on what I need to get done rather than spend time thinking about what I want to do or should do. The second reason why I think the diaries are great is because of the feeling of progression. In a game where levels and progression are very slow at times, these diaries let me feel like I'm actually making progress at a pace that is reasonable. I understand that I'm only scratching the surface with these diaries, but that's okay because the progress that I felt currently was going to sustain me for the other diary entries, and I'll be more equipped to do so when they get more challenging later on. One thing about RuneScape that may be daunting for new players is The leveling and progression progress. If you look up a guide for something like the fight caves, you're going to see all of these different levels, as well as the different equipment that you can't even dream of affording yet, and it can be a bit demotivating. With the diaries, sure, you're not going to be getting amazing gear, but you're going to be getting very useful items along the way, and you are being introduced to the game in a more beginner-friendly manner, which is something that I think this game doesn't have a lot of and could really benefit from. The diaries let new players explore all the different skills in the game, as well as a ton of different areas in the world. I can't tell you how many times while doing them, I've looked up a specific name on the map and went like, oh, so that's where that is. And that's all thanks to the diaries. The diaries are a great set of goals for new players to take on, and I think it should be talked about more when it comes to new people entering into the game. I think it's a great way to introduce people and get people started with actually playing RuneScape rather than just dropping them in. But I understand that the appeal of RuneScape is that open world. With that little soapbox speech completed, the easy diary entries are done as well. And we get this odd looking helmet as well as all of these other rewards. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. Okay, let's dive into the medium diaries. I have to complete a lap of the Barbarian agility course. I don't think I've ever seen another soul in this area. I assume this is older content and other agility courses have been released since then and they were just better in that case. But I completed a lap and I got the diary done. Now I have to complete a super anti-poison from scratch in Sears Village. So from scratch, does that mean I have to grow everything myself? Surely not, right? Well, I'm gonna check my bank for the supplies. I need unicorn horn dust and a leaf. Why does no one stop me? Okay, here goes nothing. Oh, sweet. That was super easy. Nice. That's another diary completed. Well, well, well. If it isn't my good friend, the grappling hook. Okay, so I need to grapple from that obelisk over there and make it to this tree right here. That's the Taverley dungeon. So we enter into there and then we leave because I forgot the key. And then we re-enter, unlock the door. We make our way past all of these bad dudes, climb up this ladder, I think? Sure, fuck it, let's try it. Yeah, I was right. Nice. And then grapple on over. Any day now. I'm gonna be on the other side. Yep. Any second. There we go. Mission complete. String a maple bow in the Sears Village bank. First, cut the log with the knife to get the short bow. Then, take the flax to the loom and spin them right round. Then, misread the diary and make a bow right here. Fuck. Restring the bow. This time, in the bank room. Boom, bam, we're done with the diary entry. Gonna pick some limpwort root, and lucky for me, I planned ahead, and these bad boys were planted earlier just for this moment. Aren't y'all proud of me looking ahead, just not wasting time? Please say you're proud. While looking through the list of things to do, there was one that stood out to me that I knew I was going to save for last, and that is to clear a wave of Barbarian Assault. Hey tier list, it's been a while, how you doing? So before that, we need to steal from this chest in Hemister. I didn't even know this area had a name. Mine some coal from these rocks by the coal truck. Perfect. All that's left is to take on the Barbarian Assault. Now I want to say something first real fast. I did look up a guide on what to do, that way I wouldn't fuck over my team entirely. For those unfamiliar, Barbarian Assault is a team-based minigame where you and 4 other players must defeat waves of monsters by performing different tasks based on the role you are playing. This culminates into a final wave where you defeat what is called the Queen. There are 4 different roles in total: the attacker, collector, defender, and healer. The attacker kills specific monsters, generally with range. The collector collects any eggs that drop off the monsters on the ground and puts them into the cannons. The defender lures other mobs to this trap and then kills them, where the healer poisons the healing mobs and heals the team. However, with all this information and watching a guide, I still had no fucking clue what was happening. I had no idea. I was told that I should play the collector because it is the simplest of all of the roles. So I made sure that I sat myself in this room, spammed collector here, and waited. And waited. And waited. No joke, this took me over half an hour to find a group. And when I finally found one, something unfortunate happened. You see, there's a part of this game that I didn't mention before that is vital to not forget. These horns right here. They are used in the minigame to call out to the other players what they need to be doing. For example, the attacker will call to the collector, that's me, what color eggs to pick up. If you pick up the wrong color eggs, they'll explode, deal damage, and reduce the points for the whole team. So it's bad news all around. So we get into the game. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But I click on my horn, I call out, and now I'm just waiting for my call out. You see this little section right up here, right in the top right? Yeah, that's where it's supposed to tell me what I'm supposed to do. And well, I'm still waiting and waiting. I even messaged in the chat, hey, what color eggs do I need to pick up? And I didn't get an answer. So I did what I could, and honestly, I just guessed at this point. This probably isn't the best option, but at the time, I didn't really see another one. Obviously, this didn't go very well. Now, I don't know if this was my fault or the attacker's fault for not calling. Don't really want to press the blame on anyone. We didn't complete the wave, and we got sent back to the waiting room. So once again, I start calling collector here, just waiting and waiting. Lo and behold, someone invites me. Only the collector role has been filled. Yikes. Now, something you might not know about me is that I am a support main. In Final Fantasy, I play almost exclusively healer. In League of Legends, I am the only one of my friends who picks support regularly. I don't know what it is about me, other than I like to help others do the thing, you know? I don't know, I enjoy helping others. So, I picked healer. Frantically looking at the wiki to see what the hell this role does, I think I understood it. I feed poisoned foods to the healers, and I make sure that my team doesn't die. The food that I need to feed to the healers will change, so that's the defender's job to tell me what I'm doing. And guys, I hate myself because I didn't record the first clear. I got into a Discord call, I got distracted, and yeah, we cleared the first wave, and I just didn't fucking record it. Luckily, this team was cracked. I know that's not necessarily true. And we cleared another wave, which I did record. Whew. So, yeah. I will not be soloing to get my torso anytime soon. I definitely want to make that a community thing for sure. So be sure to join the CC so you can be aware of when that does happen. But I did want to see what it was like to go solo just for this first little bit and experience it. And let me tell you, not good. Bad, in fact. It sucked just waiting there and then having no communication of right or wrong. So yeah, go with a party, kids. That's what I plan on doing. With that, we finished the Kandarin achievement diaries, and I fucking forgot to hit record again. I'm losing it over here. All of that waiting around and the anxiety of jumping into a new thing got my brain all messed up. But here's the helmet on my head, here's the list of rewards we get, and you know that I placed the experience lamp into herb lore. That is where we are going to end today's episode. In the next one, we head to one of my least favorite areas in the game, Karamja. I'm not super looking forward to this, but I hope you are. I've not kept it a secret that Karamja is probably my least favorite area in the game. I don't really know what it is about this place that just kinda irks me. Maybe it's the lack of easy teleports or the thick jungle and poisonous creatures. I don't know. I just don't like it. The diary entries luckily were fairly easy and straightforward. Having all the prerequisites done naturally through playing the game, the easy entries went very quickly, which was nice. Anything to get me out of this area faster, I am all for it. I want to ask all of you while we're here, what is your favorite area in the game, as well as your least favorite area? Let me know down in the comments what you think. The least favorite area for me is simple. You already know, I've just spent the last few minutes talking about it. As for favorite, I'm not really sure. My immediate thought goes to the starting areas like Lumbridge all the way to Varrock, but that could just be because I'm most familiar with those zones and it allows me to feel just like a tiny bit like I know what I'm doing in this game, which we all know is a lie. The areas in this game are so varied and have so much personality within them that they all feel very distinct from each other, which in a game with limited graphics such as RuneScape is a remarkable feat. Or maybe I'm just easily impressed. But enough of that, we now approach the end of the easy diaries and we get these Karamja gloves, as well as these other boons. Small side note, I just recently realized that all of these diary entries are giving me a full set of armor. Yeah, looking at the wiki for the entries, it kind of clicked in my head that I'm getting a piece of armor for every single slot. So I might be a little bit slow, but I think that's cool. I don't know about anybody else. Now it's time for the medium diary. I have been warned about this since the very first episode of season 2 about how difficult this was going to be. It is apparently a notorious diary for being one of the most annoying to deal with because of RNG, which plays a role in completion. Let's leave that as a future problem for now. I need to visit the Isle of Krandor via the dungeon below the volcano. That's simple enough. I remember opening this wall while I did Dragon Slayer, so that's done. Now I need to use the Vigroy and Hatchety's cart service, so I probably did this in reverse order, because I entered into Shiloh Village first and then left through the carts. But now I know that that's an easy way to get into Shiloh Village, which is cool. That'll be very useful for the rest of the diary entries. The next one is to earn 100% favor in Tai Bwo Wannai cleanup. Yeah, we're going to leave that one for a little later as well. And now I need to mine a red topaz from a gem rock, so I head back to Shiloh Village and mine that rock. Gotta cook a spider on a stick. Now I want to say that I figured out how to do this all on my own. There was no wiki usage or anything. This is a big deal for me. I will not have anyone take that from me, okay? I didn't know how to get a stick, so I thought I could make arrow shafts. That's kind of like a stick, right? And fuck yeah, it worked. I need to charter this ship over here. It's called Lady of the Waves, which is a great name. Just have to say that. Cut down a teak tree and then a mahogany tree. Done and done. I know it's mahogany. Now I need to trap a horned grak. That's like a bird, right? Hell no it isn't. So I head down to Yanil real fast, buy a few teasing sticks, grab some logs and a knife. I looked up how to catch this thing because I thought it was a fucking bird, okay? We head back to their location and set up the trap. All right, here we go. Oh, I fucked up, didn't I? He just jumped over that pit. Hey bud, how about we try it again? Oh shit, he's too smart to fall for the same trap twice. Okay, how about this one? Good, now fall in the pit. Oh, I feel a little bit bad now. Oh well, moving on. Climb up the stairs in the Brimhaven dungeon. I pay the entrance fee. Is this like a tourist attraction? Who is the money going to? Is it going to the people of Brimhaven? Or am I just in this guy's dungeon? Am I paying him specifically? Does he fill this place with the monsters? I'm just curious as to the infrastructure of this business. Another charter, another achievement done. Now it is time to take on the last two entries. Get 100% favor in the Tai Bwo Wannai minigame and exchange gems for a machete. Here we go doing another minigame in the name of the Achievement Diaries. To begin this minigame, we need to first talk to Myreque, who will then tell us some of the things that have been going on with the village, and since I need this diary completion, we decide that it is now our problem. To gain favor, there's a few different ways you can do that. You can cut down jungle growths. This will be very important in just a minute. Repair the fences around the village and kill any threats that appear around the village. In exchange for doing these things, you will earn favor and a thing called trading sticks. But before you can claim the trading sticks, you have to talk to some of the locals and ask what there is to do around the village. And you have to repair a fence and talk to Myreque. Okay, now that that's done, we can finally get to chopping. I decided to cut down light jungle patches for 100% favor because I need something very special from them, and you all know what that is already, but I'm going to explain. In order to complete the entry of exchange gems for a machete, you need something called a gout tuber. My only experience with this item is from the one episode of the money-making episodes on the Gielinor games, where Jimmy and Settle roll the dice and find one. Looking at the wiki, I find out that the gout tuber has a 1% chance to spawn. Yikes. And looking at the price on the Grand Exchange, oh, that's another yikes. So, as I said before, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. and I am ready for the long haul. I will sit here and I will stay here until I am able to get the Gout Tuber. I know that 100% completion will come way before that 1% drop, but I'm ready. No amount of dry spells will make me falter. I will get... Oh, it's right there. Cool, that was easy. No joke, you guys can look at the time spent as well as the favor to see that I didn't doctor this or fake it at all. I think I spent about 10 minutes chopping this jungle and then I found the tuber. I know this is what people were warning me about with this specific diary entry, but honestly, I'll take a quick drop any day of the week. So with the Gout Tuber safely stored away in my bank, I returned to chopping jungle patches. I did this mainly for another chance at the Gout Tuber because I could really use the money. Unfortunately, a second tuber never came, but I can't really be too upset about that considering how quickly I got the first one. So, with the 100% completion done, there was only one thing left to do, and that is to gather 1,200 trading sticks so I can make a red topaz machete. So, I sit here at the gemstone rocks, and I just mine away. I decided that I'm going to go for the highest upgrade first, because I don't really see the logic in going for the weaker ones when the Gout Tuber is so difficult to get in the first place. You might as well just spend the extra few minutes making sure you get the best item for your troubles. With the gems that I gathered, I cut them into shape and I threw on my Karamja gloves. Wearing these gloves gives me an increased price for trading. I sell all of my precious rocks to Gabooti, and I now have plenty of trading sticks. Nice. With the tuber, the 3 topazes, and a whole bunch of trading sticks, we return to Safta and have him create for us the red topaz machete. And would you look at that? I'm now done with one of the most difficult, or at least one of the most annoying medium diaries in the game. I'm so glad I got that drop so quickly. I did not want to spend more time here. And that is where we're going to end today's episode. I was able to complete the Karamja diary with the help of a little luck. We get our gloves upgraded and we get all of these other boons as well. I think this lamp is going to go into rune crafting. That seems right. In the next episode, we take on Kourend and Kebos. I have a feeling that one is going to take me quite a bit longer than these last two. These easy achievements really went by pretty quickly, so I wanted to talk about Kourend as a location for just a little bit. This place looks awesome. The locations are all so varied in how they present themselves, from the bright shores of Piscarilius to the dark ashen rock of Lovacane. You really get a sense from these areas that you're traveling to different cities with different histories and cultures, and I think that's one of the most positive things Kourend has going for it. One of the negative things that Kourend has going for it is the reputation grind. I have never enjoyed a reputation grind in any video game. I've done them in MMOs such as Final Fantasy XIV and World of Warcraft, but I was never excited to do so. The way that I view rep grinding is an arbitrary system that prevents certain content from being accessed easily. And I get the appeal from a story perspective. Your character is just a nobody to these new people, and in order to gain access to what they have to offer, you must first prove yourself trustworthy. That's fine, that makes sense. But what ends up happening with these types of grinds is that players will just find the simplest and most efficient way to gain the reputation. I would rather go on a quest that allows my character to feel like I'm being integrated into these new characters' lives in some way, rather than just being a random person who, I don't know, turned in a bunch of books or mined a bunch of sulfur to gain that reputation. I mentioned the rep grinds because you've probably guessed that I had to do a bunch of these in various forms for each of the houses, except for Hosidius, which I will mention later on in the video what I did for each one. So I'm not a huge fan of rep grinding in general. I think there is a way to integrate your character into the larger story without having to deal with these mundane tasks of grinding. With all of that said, we complete the easy diaries, which luckily didn't have to get any extra rep grind done. We get the Radha's Blessing as well as these other boons. Now it is time for the medium entries. Some of you may remember at the end of the last episode where I said it would probably take me longer to do the Kourend entries than the Karamja one. And oh boy was I right. This shit took me a long time to get done. And there was really only one reason for that, and that's to use the Kertz memoirs to teleport to all 5 cities in Great Kourend. Man, this took me fucking forever. And since I'd like to do these entries in order for the most part, I dove headfirst into this task. To complete this, I need to have 5 quests done, but I actually need to have 2 more quests done before I can even start those 5 quests, so it's really 7 quests. First up is X Marks the Spot. A very short and simple quest that seems like it was aimed to teach new players how to use clue scrolls. We talk to Veos, he tells us that he needs help finding some treasure. After a few short digs, we find the chest, return to him at Port Sarim. Unfortunately, we don't get to see what's inside the chest, but we get the quest done and we move on to the next one. The Client of Kourend. Once again, we talk to Veos, but this time when he's on Port Piscarilius, and he lets us know that he has some client that would like more information about the 5 houses that live on Kourend. So we simply go and talk to each and every one of them. This quest seems like its purpose was to let the player know what they can expect to receive from earning favor with each of these houses. This is a pretty good idea. You, the player, get to find out exactly what each house offers and whether or not you think it's worth grinding their reputation. But we go back and talk to everyone, get a really bad headache from fucking with this altar, and return to Veos, only it's not Veos we're talking to this time, but rather the client. I don't know who we just helped, and I'm almost certain it's not good, but that's going to be a future problem for Dool, so let's just move on. Let's start getting these 5 quests taken care of. First up is the Depths of Despair, requiring 20% Hosidius favor to begin. Luckily, I have 100% favor thanks to some fertilizer. We need to speak with Lord Candor Hosidius, whose son has gone missing. We talk to Chef Olivia, who in a shocking twist is Archer's, that's the son, lover. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. She tells us that Archer was looking for some book called the Accord of Twill. So I run my ass over to the library in Arceus, talk to Galana, find the book, and head to Crabclaw Caves. Try saying that 5 times fast. Making my way through the cave, we find Archer, but he won't leave and return to his father until he finds what he's been looking for. Unfortunately, he is a huge pushover and can't fight a level 36 snake. Okay, so we deal with the snake on his behalf, we recover the original copy of the Royal Accord of Twill, and return to Lord Hosidius. We receive a memoir page, and that is exactly what we are looking for the diary entry. I place it in the Kert's memoir and move on to the next quest. The Queen of Thieves. Once again, this quest requires 20% favor, but this time with Port Piscarilius. Each one of these quests has the same 20% requirement, so I'm going to stop saying that now. I used the favor certificate from the Client of Kourend on the fish house so that we don't have to do any unnecessary grinding here. In this quest, we start by speaking to Thomas over here, who's conducting a little investigation into some new gang on the port called the Saviors of Kourend. Seems like a pretentious title, but alright, I'll bite. We need to infiltrate this gang, and in order to do that, we need to kill someone named Conrad King? Okay, sure. So I push his ass into the water and go on with my day. I then make my way into the underground and speak with Lady Shauna Piscarilius, aka the Queen of Thieves. So she was royalty, but we don't believe her. To validate her story, we break into the house of Counselor Hughes, who she claims is part of the Disciples of Yama. Alright guys, I have no idea what is going on, don't know what that means, but it's probably not good. It turns out she's telling the truth, we return to her, the counselor is then arrested, and we get another page for the book. Tale of the Righteous. To earn the Shazian favor, I fixed these wounded soldiers while watching YouTube. Now, while the quest plays in the background for a little bit, I'm going to ask you guys, what's your go-to background noise for playing RuneScape? Mine is currently Critical Role. I caught up with Campaign 3 after not watching for a while. So let me know down in the comments what you like to watch, or listen to. We go to the mountain, do some things with this dark altar. I stopped paying attention to the quests at this point. I'm just getting pretty tired. We return to Lord Shazian and we tell him that Phileas has gone missing and we complete the quest. 3 down, 2 to go. Can you see why this diary took me so much longer than the last one? The Forsaken Tower, Dwarves. I mined a shitload of volcanic sulfur for the favor. It sucked. I did not enjoy nearly dying to this to get it done, but it is what it is. Wintertodt is breaking out, and that's bad. So we help the dwarves by recovering Din's hammer. It is located in the Forsaken Tower. Hey, that's the name of the quest. And this is like a big escape room. I personally love escape rooms, and I worked at one for a few years. Having said that, you bet your ass I'm going to use Quest Helper. Some of these puzzles would have been pretty simple, but others definitely would have taken me a bit. Like the fluid puzzle, where you need to fill the furnace with exactly 4 gallons of water, and the ring puzzle at the very end. I think both of these puzzles are cool in their design, and I probably could have solved them, but like I said before, I was getting real tired at this point. And I think there's definitely a difference from doing a puzzle in an escape room where you have other people to bounce ideas off of, and you can be there physically, versus a video game where it's just you and what you can see and interact with on the screen. Regardless, a cool quest all in all, and we get the Hammer of Din and our second to last page. The Ascent of Arceus. I turned books in all the way to 100%. Also, small side note, did this area fuck with anyone else's computer? While I was here, my PC was chugging. It was rough to get through. And it's not like I have a slow PC either. I'm just genuinely curious if I was alone here. Alright, back to the quest. There has been a death in Arceus, which is a big deal because apparently the people here don't die. We kill some spirits in this building, talk to the son of this dude who's really fucking feeling this magic. Look at him. This is apparently because the Dark Altar is acting up, I think. I'm sure that has nothing to do with me, right? We head over to Mount Kurlum, talk to the entities, the Tasakal, God, these names are brutal, who really gave the secret to immortality to the people of Arceus. But this was apparently not part of the original deal, because Trobin, the guy who's doing the magic boogie over there, pleaded with these beings to give his wife immortality. He then shared that secret with everyone in Arceus, upsetting the natural balance. Kind of a dick move. We help these beings by freeing a trapped soul over here by the farming guild. We kill them, return to the Tasakal, and finally to the Dark Altar, where we find a strange device that has been placed and fucking with the magic here. We finally get the last page and can now teleport to each of the 5 cities and complete the first of the medium diary entries. Damn, that took a while. Okay, so I lied. Some of these entries were completed along the way, things like mining volcanic sulfur and switching the Arceus spellbook. But now we can get on to the more simple tasks that were a bit more out of the way. I need to repair a crane on Port Biscarilius, got my hammer, some planks, and some nails. Done. Simple enough. Deliver some intelligence to Captain Guinea. I grinded more favor by healing soldiers, and I received my mission. I waited patiently, and then I murdered every single one of these gangsters. Damn, that's not bad money. That's good. I return the intelligence and I get the diary completed. I need to use this bird to catch a bluegill on Lake Mulch. This is kind of cool. I have no idea if this is useful at all, but this really gives a whole nother meaning to fly fishing. No? No one laughed? Okay. I have to use this boulder shortcut over here. Subdue the Wintertodt. There's always going to be a minigame, huh? You just always sneak your way in here, don't you? Well, I get on some warm clothing, read a bit of what I'm supposed to be doing, and make my way into Wintertodt. I still had really no idea how to subdue this thing, so I just kind of went in there, cut some logs, lit some braziers, and I failed my first attempt. Well, I didn't fail, we subdued it, but I didn't earn enough points, it seems. So this second try, I made potions, did the same thing, and I still failed. But then I decided to use the knife on these logs, turn them into kindling, and light the braziers and repair them when they break. And apparently, in order to subdue the beast, I need to get at least 500 points. That's what the wiki ended up telling me. So whittling these logs and burning them gives way more points than simply chopping and burning. So after 3 attempts and a few near deaths, I am able to complete that entry. And last but certainly not least, I need to catch a Chinchompa in the Kourend woodland. Done. With this furry creature in hand, I run over to Elise and claim my rewards and finish the Kourend medium diary. Woo! That one took way longer than I expected, but we have it completed and that's all that matters. And we're getting close to having a full set of gear from the diary entries. That's pretty cool. We're going to end the episode here. In the next one, we head back into the swamp and take on the Morytania diary. I'm hoping that one goes by a little bit faster than Kourend. To begin our journey, we need to, as you guessed, complete the easy diary entries. I've watched Swampletics multiple times, but I'll be very honest right now when I say I didn't know where most of that was taking place. Obviously, it was in Morytania, duh. But as I was walking around doing these tasks, I was like, oh, that's where this happened. For instance, when I made it to the Grove for the first time, I went, oh, hey, that's where Subtle trained agility for like 12 hours. He's a lunatic for doing that to himself, by the way. Like, clinically insane, but I'm glad he did it because it makes for very good content. I don't know if I can say I learned a whole lot from watching Swampletics because at the time I had zero frame of reference for what he was doing. I just enjoyed watching the progress and listening to how he told a story. While running around Morytania, it made me stop and think about my own RuneScape journey. It's people like Settled and Jimmy that really motivated me to try and make my own RuneScape series. I thought, hey, it might be fun to just be a complete beginner and see what happens if I set a goal for myself and record it. And here we are on the second season, 1700 subs and counting, with one of my videos over 120,000 views. None of that makes any sense to me, by the way. I'm not sure why some of you people have stuck around and watched me make an absolute fool of myself every single week, but I'm glad you're here. I know that my content isn't for everyone, and I don't have some of the production values or the skills of some of the other players, but I'm very happy that you're all watching, and I wanted to take just a second to say thank you. Now, with that sappy bit out of the way, the Easy Morytania diary is completed, and we get some plate legs and these extra boons, and move on to the medium diary. I had almost none of these diary entries completed, so they took me just a little while. First, I need to go to an iconic spot in Morytania. Let's be honest, Settled made the entirety of Morytania iconic. And I need to catch a swamp lizard. I forgot to record the first catch because I suck at what I do, but here's the second one, and hey, it looks exactly the same. Look, you can even see the diary completion in the chat box. I chopped some hollow tree bark. Now I need to travel to Dragontooth Isle. I didn't know this was an area in the game, but I pay the toll. I also didn't realize it was ecto tokens, so there's a moment later where I'm very confused as to where all of my tokens went. Now I need to kill a terror dog. I actually got this as a Slayer task a little while back, and I looked up how to go about killing them, and I noticed that on the wiki it said it was a diary entry. So I held off on killing these things until it was time to do the Morytania diary, and here we go. In order to gain access to these dogs, I need to complete the mini quest Lair of Tarn Razorlore. The official length of this quest says medium. How are you going to call this a mini quest but have the length be medium? Regardless, we make our way past Settled's crossbow and into the haunted mine. As I was doing this quest, I realized that I may not have brought enough food, but I start praying and I hope for the best. There's some more jumping that I need to get through, some more bad guys that want me killed, you know, same old, same old. Have you guys ever thought about how there's some level 90 skeletons and like some level 2 ones? Do you think the level 2 skeletons ever think about that? Like that they could have been level 90, but they failed out of monster college or something? I don't know, just something that came into my mind. I continue making my way until I reach the chamber with Tarn. I don't know really what happened here. The cutscene seemed to have played twice, but the game goes back to normal, and I make sure to kill a terror dog first, just in case I need to teleport out because my food situation, like I said, was not the best. Also, this area drains prayer really quickly, so that sucks. Well, we're just gonna see how this goes. The dog goes down, and I'm going to stick it out and fight it out so that we can just be done with this quest. And return here with less issue to eventually complete my Slayer task. Perfect. Now we need to complete a game of Trouble Brewing. What can I say about this minigame? Literally nothing. I read what I needed to do, I joined a world, and then I got put into a game with 1 minute left. This is not a complaint. The wiki said that these games can go on for 20 minutes, and I really didn't want to do that. As the minute finishes up, so does the diary entry. Incredible. I will take a fast finish like that any day of the week. Got aboard the swampy boat from here to here. Make some cannonballs in Port Phasmatis. Grab my steel and my ammo molds, make them easily. Cool. The last 2 entries are going to take me much longer. I need to use an ecto file to return to Port Phasmatis, which means I need to complete Ghosts Ahoy. Here we go, back at it again with Dool's quest guides. I hope you're ready. We begin this quest by talking to Valerina, and she tells us how much it sucks to be a ghost in the port. So, on behalf of her, I talk to Necrovaris to ask him to allow every ghost that wishes to pass on to the next world. That seems like a simple request. I'm sure he'll be very understanding. Oh, no, he's a real piece of shit. Okay, cool. So we're going to do what any hero would do in this scenario, and we're going to make sure that we get what we want by any means necessary. In order to do that, we go and talk to the old crone, but first they want some nettle tea and milk. That sounds tasty. I don't know what nettles taste like, but I'm kind of here for it. After drinking the tea, the crone remembers that she used to be a disciple of Necropolis over there, and that Valerina was a good friend of hers. Now hearing that she is a ghost and wants to pass on, she agrees to help us. We are going to need to perform a ritual called Harikanto, which will allow us to dominate necromancy. You know, like a hero would, bending the will of someone to what we want to do and not taking no as an answer. Being the true hero that we are, we ask if there's anything else we can do to help her, and she mentions that she wants us to give a model ship to her young son who ran away with some pirates. In order to do that, we need to make these sails a specific color to match the boat. We search in some of the chests, I kill the red lobster and cheddar biscuits, head up to the top deck, and then we check the sails when the wind is low and dye them the proper colors. After dyeing them all the correct colors, we hand the toy over to this old man, who turns out to have been the son all along. We get a treasure map and head back over to Dragontooth Isle and dig up the Book of Horikanto. There's now a new NPC in port named Akharanu. Akharanu. He's a Robin Hood fanboy and wants us to get an autograph for him. So we do that and play a game of Rune Draw with the legend himself, who really sucks. This guy is a piece of shit. I don't like him. And boy, was my luck terrible. I kept drawing the death rune too early, which means I automatically lost. After truly too many games of this shit, we finally make Robin Hood sign this oak longbow and bring it back to Akharanu. I speak to the ghost innkeeper, he gives me a bed sheet that I treat like the Nickelodeon Choice Awards and slime that shit to create a ghost costume. We then do our best Jehovah's Witness impression and get 10 signatures. After all those, we talk to Necrosis and show him the petition to let the ghost pass on. He still doesn't care because he sucks, so we resort to the last available option. I take Necro's clothes and bring them to the old crone so she can dance near me and imbue my amulet with an enchantment that'll allow me to control Necromundo. We insist he lets the ghosts pass on if they would like, and of course he agrees because I stole his free will, like a hero. We complete the quest and use the ectofile. Nice. Now we have another quest, in aid of the Myreque. The entry says partial completion, and I will say that I don't even know where the cutoff point for that is. I'll get through this bit a little bit faster because this quest took me fucking forever. I kept forgetting items that were needed, but to be fair, there's like 1 billion items needed for this quest. We are headed to Burdurot, where we need to feed the people to prove that we are in fact heroes and fix some shit around here. First, I need to clean up the basement, then rebuild the general store, restock said general store, fix the bank, and finally fix the furnace. We're also going to help kill a few vampires and their lackeys along the way. This man falls in a T-pose fashion. I steal his hammer and we gear up to do some temple trekking. I kill these vampires to make sure that Ivan over here makes it to the temple safely. Now we need to create something called the Rod of Avandis. With the mold taken from this coffin, we create a rod and then put it in the well to bless it, I think? And then return to Valiath to show him what we've done. Now, I don't know where the breakpoint for this quest was. Even after completing it and watching through it again, I have no idea. But we go to the bone grinder up in the Ectofunctus, grind up some silver, mix these ingredients, and create a Guthix balance potion, in Morytania specifically. And that, my friends, is all of the medium diaries completed. We get our new legs, which look really cool, honestly. And that is where we're going to end today's episode. In the next one, we take on a classic, Varrock, a city that I have spent a lot of time in, so that should be a fun one. While I tackle the easy entries, I've come to enjoy just talking a bit about my journey or what is interesting in the game to me. So I want to take just a second to talk about the music in this game. I start every single episode with the track Harmony. I do this because when you load into Lumbridge, this is what you hear for the very first time. Or so I think. I usually have music muted because it makes editing easier. My goal with that was to hit people with a bit of the nostalgia that they get to make them feel more comfortable while I set up the video, and then I can move on from there. Now, like I said just a second ago, I usually have music muted while I'm recording because it makes it easier on myself in the post-production process because I don't have to worry about songs jumping around. And that means I miss out on a lot of the really excellent tracks in the game. Things like Sea Shanty and Waterfall, they really add to the overall experience of the game, and I do sometimes play RuneScape music in the background while I'm playing, but it's not gonna match the area because that would just be too much to keep up with. There's a reason why I do my best to add in the songs that would be found in particular zones or minigames when those are on the screen. I want you guys, the audience, to feel like you've been in this exact same scenario before. My whole RuneScape career is based on me being new to the game, and that would be kind of a hard sell for someone if things don't line up how they remember it. For each episode, I will go and look up, not just to find the right song for the area, because sometimes there are multiple, but the right song for the feel of the activity. If I'm skulking about in Morytania, I want to use some more of the somber tracks to fit that feel. Whereas if I'm doing a quest that is driving me absolutely nuts, I might choose something a bit more manic. That might come into play later. I think the music in this game is very well done, and it has such a large variety that I think I will eventually make a video on that in the future, but until then, we finish the easy entries, get our torso plus these bonuses, and now we can move on to the medium entries. Alrighty, let's get on with these bad boys. First things first, we have to go to the apothecary and make me a strength potion. So, in order to do that, I need a limpwort root, some red spider eggs, and of course, a few coins for his troubles. I've got the root in my bank, so that's easily taken care of, and I know exactly where to get the red spider eggs. One quick teleport with the Carrot's Memoir later, and I head into the Forthos dungeon, snag me some eggs, and head back to Varrock. I pay this man to make me a potion that I can easily make by myself, but we get the entry done. Now I need to select a color from my kitten, which requires partial completion of Garden of Tranquility. Luckily, the partial completion this time is very partial. In fact, all we have to do is talk to the wise old man and have him imbue the ring of Cheros? Cheros. So after we play a short game of who wants to be smarter than the weakest link, we get the ring imbued and go talk to Gertrude. But not before we allow Gert, my original cat, my friend forever, to enjoy the life of retirement. Here you go, boy, you've served me well, and I'll never forget you. Now I need to replace him immediately. I choose the color of my new kitten and complete the entry. I need to enter the Tolna dungeon after completing Soul's Bane. In this quest, I need to help this woman, Lana, find her son Tolna in this crevice. We enter into the rift, and there are 4 rooms we need to make it through: Rage, Fear, Confusion, and Hopelessness. Each of these rooms will require me to kill monsters in a different and kind of annoying way. The first room, Rage, is simple. I just need to kill monsters with a particular weapon, according to this little box up here, until the meter at the top is full. After just a bit of that, we move on to the next one, Fear. In this one, we play a game of whack-a-mole and find the embodiment of fear. I check and check and check to find the spooky boy 5 times over, kill him, and move on to the next one. Confusion. I'm confused as to why this is in the game. I fucking hated this room. There's a bunch of beasts in the room, and only one can actually take damage. So you have to run around smacking things to find the real one. But since this area is single combat, if you tag an illusion, you have to smack it 8 times in order for it to disappear. And my luck was not the best, so I just spent a while smacking air for no fucking reason. I wasn't having a great time, as you can probably tell. You also have to do this like 5 times as well, so yeah, I was here for a minute. Next is Hopelessness, or as I like to call it, my inevitable future. This one isn't too bad. All you have to do is kill these creatures 3 times over until they disappear. So, smack, 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 we move on to the final area. Fighting this absolute nightmare creature. Cool, it's dead. We find the kid, who is now no longer a kid. Seems to be a running theme in RuneScape. We talk about them being reunited with their family or something like that. I wasn't paying attention. We're kicked out of the dungeon, and then we re-enter to get the achievement. I need to make 20 mahogany logs in one go. I chop down some of these trees, take cash plus logs to the mills, and make those planks. Now comes the last 2 entries. It always seems like the last few take me the longest, and this is no exception. I need to pick a white fruit tree, which means I need to go back and get full completion of Garden of Tranquility. No joke, there was a point earlier on while I was recording this where I was like, cool, just partial completion? Sick. I don't have to worry about completing that anytime soon. And then about an hour later, I found out that I have to complete it. So yeah, fuck this quest. I don't really know what the point of this quest was, but here we go. We have to go around and help the queen get some special flowers for her garden because it sucks in there. I go and I speak with Lyra over near Port Phasmatis to see if she has any orchid seeds that she can help us with. She asks us to grow some onions, so I plant those and I make a big mistake. I'm going to be making this mistake for each of these allotments. You probably saw what it was, but I did not use any water or compost on them. Now hear me out. If I could defend myself for just a second, I leveled farming almost entirely through tree runs. I didn't water any of those, I didn't fertilize any of them, and it went fine. So I literally didn't even think about doing that with this quest. This is going to bite me in the ass later. I'm sure you can see where this is going. Anyway, I plant the onions and move on to the next batch of crops I have to grow for Kragan in Ardougne. He wants some cabbages in exchange for snowdrop seeds. Plop the cabbages in and move on, blissfully unaware that I'm fucking this up at every step. Now on to Elston in Falador. He wants marigolds in return for some delphinium seeds. Whew, had a hard time with that word, Jesus. Now it's time for Dantera in Catherby, and I ask them where I could grow a white tree. I cut off a branch of the white tree on top of Ice Mountain and place that branch in a pot that I have prepared just for this occasion. That will eventually turn into a white tree sapling that I can plant. Time to talk to the partial metal alchemist Althric. I speak to him and he claims that I am wearing an evil talisman, so I toss my ring of Charos down this well, talk to the brother again, steal his flowers for the rose seeds that I need, and we're good. Once that is all done, I can fish my ring out of the well and continue the quest. Finally, we need to help a gentleman named Bernald. He needs help with his grapevines. We try using plant cure on these vines and that doesn't really do anything, so we use a hammer on some rune essence to create a strengthened plant cure, and that does the trick, it would seem. We get some grapevine seeds for our troubles. It's at this time the quest tells me that I need to go back and check in on my crops. They're all fucking dead. Every single patch is dead and it's my fault. Cool. Now I have to go redo each patch in order to complete the quest. I hate myself. After nearly an hour of redoing the crops, I finally get the seeds that I need and make my way to the garden. And the queen wants to steal 2 statues. I'm just going through the motions at this point, mindlessly following Quest Helper after my dreams were shattered by all of my dead crops. So we push and push and push the statue all the way over here. God, if I had to push it the entire way, I would have lost my mind. Now I need to take the statue from Falador, and we get, honestly, an incredible cutscene that makes this quest almost tolerable. Those poor guards. I push the statue into place and plant these plants finally. I push the statue into place and can finish the quest, but not really because they have to grow, and this queen is a fucking asshole. God damn it. If I could go full PK Master 0036 on her ass, I would, and I would show no mercy. After everything grows, we talk to the king, who's also a dickhead. He hates every single plant we put in here. I'm gonna murder the king and queen of Varrock. I've decided it. It's time to commit some more regicide. Finally, we get the quest done. Holy shit, that fucking sucked. And I can't even get the diary done because I need to let this white tree grow. So while it's doing that, let's take care of the next one. Last and certainly not least, I need to fly from Varrock using the hot air balloon. I gather the needed materials and go to Intrana so I can lock the balloon in Varrock. This didn't go super well because I kept misclicking, so I wasted a good 20 logs doing this. But eventually I make the journey and fly from Varrock and get the achievement. After that is done, I make my way into the garden, take some fruit, and complete the diaries. Holy balls, we're finally finished with that. It might not have seemed like it took that long, but while I was doing it, it felt like it took forever. We go and talk to Toby, receive our upgraded chest, and get one step closer to the edge, to a set of full diary gear. And that is where we are going to end today's episode. In the next one, we arrive at the penultimate episode of Season 2. Maybe, who knows? And complete the Western Province's diary. I think for this episode, I'm just going to talk about what I was doing like normal through these easy achievements. Nah, I'm just kidding, that'd be boring. I think instead I want to talk about some of the comments I've been getting, specifically the ones that are talking about watching me while they do their own grinds or getting them more interested in playing. And all I have to say to that is, hell yeah. That's the whole reason why I make these things. I wanted to be able to provide a different perspective on this game than what was normally available in the creator scene. Seeing people say that my smaller grinds are helping them get through their really tough grinds is really cool to see. I want people to be able to enjoy my content, whether you're a 15-year veteran or a new player just like myself. I do my best to make sure that what I make is entertaining for as many people as possible. Also, if you're watching you don't have a CC yet, feel free to join ours. I'll put it up on the screen here. I've been really busy recently with real world obligations, so I haven't been able to sit down and play as much as I have in the past, but it's cool to hop on and say hi to people who are working on their own grinds. Well, that just about wraps up the easy entries. We get this little banner for our troubles and these boons as well, and now we move on to the real deal. As soon as I looked at this list of achievements, I knew I was in for a world of pain. A few entries in Ape Atoll, traveling to Feldip Hills, killing at least 125 chompy birds, and worst of all, one small favor. Spelled with a U because the people who make this game are sick in the head. But let's get on with it. I know I'm not going to enjoy this. I am going to save the entry, Travel to the Feldip Hills by Gnome Glider, for last because that requires me to do one small favor. And I know that it isn't just one small favor. I'm going to go ahead and take the agility shortcut from the Grand Tree to Otto's Grotto. Didn't even know that was here, so my game knowledge expands just a little bit more. I need to trap a Spine Larupia, so with some teasing sticks and logs in my inventory, I make my way over to the AKS Fairy Ring, set up my traps. This unfortunate victim falls for the trap and it gives me the completion. Time to kill 2 birds with 1 banana. I say banana because I need to fish some bass on Ape Atoll and cut/burn some teak logs on Ape Atoll as well. I use the Ninja Gree to become one with the monkeys and infiltrate their base of operations. 1 bass caught and 1 log chopped and burnt. Perfect. I need to now complete an intermediate game of pest control. I had to do a novice game for the easy entries before this, but this time I'm going to go ahead and bring along my Dragon Hosta because it has all 3 different attack types and I think it looks cool. I don't know if I really needed the different attack types because I didn't actually swap them. I just kind of hit shit until the game was done. Cool, that diary is taken care of. I'm glad these don't take as long as the wiki says they will. I'll probably be coming back to this later to get the gear from it. Claim a chompy bird hat from Rance after registering at least 125 kills. Man, fuck you, I barely just got 30. And that took me a long ass time. Luckily, I was in a Discord call with my expert friend and he told me to just load up on Ogre Bellows and head over to the Fairy Ring south of Castle Wars. So I did that and I just blew up frogs, shot birds until I finished. It looked a lot like this for like 45 minutes. Cool, that wasn't as painful as I was anticipating. You know I love these eagle traveling cutscenes. I have to make a chocolate bomb. Looking up the recipe on the wiki, I get all the ingredients together and create a masterpiece that would make Gordon Ramsay himself say that I've absolutely nailed it. Let's get that perfectly clear. I've been watching a lot of MasterChef and he says that a lot. I need to turn my crystal saw seed into a crystal saw, which means I need to complete the Eyes of Gluffrey. To start this quest, we need to talk to Brimstale and ask about his cute creature that's in his cave. And also, these creatures are wandering around the gnome stronghold in general. That thing isn't cute, it's a fucking nightmare. He's doing some research or something and he reminisces about some history he's been aching to tell anyone that would listen. We inspect this bowl and this machine that seems to be fucking broken. And then we go meet someone named Hazelmere. I can't remember if I've met this person before, but here we are now. After he mind melds with me, we get the visions of the past. These depict Gluffrey banishing the goblins with his magic and also covering up Argento's death. Argento is an old silver spirit tree. Obviously, this doesn't go over well with the king because he can't trust Gluffrey, and he banishes him. Gluffrey is now pissed at that. We get a purple pentagon for this machine to get it to work. Man, fuck this part. My brain was mush going into this, and it became whatever is worse than mush after. I also read the wiki incorrectly and was trying to do some weird multiplication stuff. I don't know, guys. Just bear with me as I struggle here. Oh, wait. You don't have to see me struggle. With the power of editing, I just finished the puzzle and almost no time has passed. Incredible. After that, Nightmare is done. We kill all of these little shits around the village. We talk to King Narnode and we complete the quest. But that's not what we're here for. That's not what's important. Now we need to use this seed on the bowl to create a crystal saw. Done. Mine some gold beneath the grand tree is easily taken care of. And now, ladies and germs, it is time for one small favor. I'm going to be very honest with you all right now. I'm pretty sure I blacked out during this quest. This was done right after the Eyes of Gluffery because I just wanted to be finished with the diary entries. I gather as many teleports as I can think of, stamina pots, and of course my full graceful outfit, fill my inventory with as many items as I could, and we're off. We start this pain in the ass by visiting my least favorite area in the game. Great, what a wonderful way to start this quest. We talk to Yanni Salika, and he has one small favor to ask of us, to get him some red mahogany logs. Simple enough. Here you go. Wow, that wasn't that bad. So I think that's where we're going to end today's. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. Here we really go. We talk to this forester who wants us to get this blunt axe sharpened by Captain Shanks. We talk to Brian in the axe shop in Port Sarim. Oh, this is gonna be a nightmare. But he's too worried about his friend right now to help. So we need to go get help by speaking to Aggie the witch in Draenor, and she agrees to help us if we first find her apprentice Jimmy the Chisel. What a great name. I head into the ham hideout and speak with Johannes Olsbrecht, who agrees to let Jimmy go if we get his cult a month's worth supply of chicken, and he suggests that we talk to Fred the farmer. Fred, of course, doesn't have the chickens, but he does tell us that Seth Groats has. And now Seth wants us to give 3 steel bars to Horvik and Varrock to make the cages for the chicken. That's done, but Horvik has the shits and needs some herbal remedy to ease his IBS. Plus some pigeon cages so he can actually make the chicken cages. I head to the apothecary and tell him about Horvik. He gives us an herbal tincture and breaks the breathing salts, so now we have to go make a new airtight pot. I'm starting to go insane. I talk to the potter over here in Barbarian Village, but she won't tell us how to make an airtight pot because of some dwarf in the mines who's being a real dickhead. Like it's some big ass secret to have this pot. I talk to Hammerspike and he tells us that he's always wanted to be a druid. So we go talk to Sandfew in Taverley and asks if he's taking any new recruits. For some fucking reason, he has no problem with the dwarf wanting to become a druid, but he still insists that we go give Captain Bleemage a Gothic's rest. So, running up the mountain, we give the tea over. He wants some trash for the trip to Feldup Hills. I'll get back to that. I go to the general store in Catherby and speak with Arian, who wants a weather report. Bro, there's no fucking weather in this game, except for some very specific areas. What do you mean? We head into Sears Village and speak with the whole fucking alphabet. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name. And they're looking for a missing person because of course they fucking are. She can't tell us the weather is going to be the same as it always fucking has been until they are found. We enter the cave, we search this sculpture here, and they are the missing person, so now we have to figure out how to set them free. We need to get some help from Compurdy over here, who needs us first to get him some iron oxide from a man in Port Khazard. We talk to Tyndall on the docks. He wants his soggy mattress filled with stuffing in order to get the iron oxide he possesses. I'm losing it. Now on to Feldup Hills. I need to fix the gnome glider landing strip. Finally something that seems like it's connected to another part. I fix all of the landing lights and can finally start completing these fucking favors. I get the mattress stuffed by Rance. I give that mattress to Tyndall to get the iron oxide. I take that iron oxide to the wizard and he gives me an animate rock spell in exchange for the goods. I use that spell in the cave and I miss because I fucking suck. So now I have to kill this Lagalith. I recast the spell after the thing is dead and Petra is now free from the stone. Did they name her Petra because she's petrified? I speak with Alphabet Soup again and tell them their friend is saved. They then have me do all of the fucking work and fix this weather vane that's on top of the agility course. This quest is going to be the death of me. I go talk to Aaron and tell him the weather is the fucking same as it always has been and always will, and they will send someone to give the trash to Bleemage. I speak with Captain Bleemage. I could now finish the entry right here, but I'm gonna go see this through because I'm already almost done. Back with Sandfew, he then agrees to let the dwarf become a druid even though he had no issue with that before. I kill these gang members, I speak to Hammerspike, and he agrees to stop harassing Tassie about her pot. Tassie then teaches me the ancient ways of making a fucking lid for a pot, and I take that pot to the apothecary so he can give me the salts. The salts get snorted by Horvik and we get the chicken cages made. I bring those to Seth and we get the chicken deal sealed. We then tell that to Johannes, who then releases Jimmy. We get to tell Aggie, who now agrees to help Brian, who will now finally sharpen this axe. I give this axe to the forester, who will now chop the red mahogany, and we can finally give those pieces of shit to Yanni. I'm dead inside. This quest is done. My sanity is gone. We fly this fucking glider and complete the medium diary entries. Holy shit. That is where we're going to end today's episode. We get this new banner, we get these boons, and we are just one step away from a full set of diary entry gear. In the next one, we take on the last set, the Wilderness. I wonder how many times I'm going to get PK'd. I don't know, but we're going to find out together. Until then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all later. Goodbye. For my general strategy, I wanted to look like the worst target available for any PKers that were out there. So I didn't wear any of my gear, I only brought what was absolutely necessary. That way, if I were to die at the hands of another player, or even the very aggressive monsters that are in the area, it wouldn't be the end of the world, just a minor inconvenience. I will not be making the same mistake of wearing my full graceful in the Wilderness again. Once I learned how dumb that was to do, I haven't done it since, because I really don't want to grind that out again. God, I was so new to this game, wasn't I? But that's alright, this is all a learning experience. Speaking of learning, this diary series really took me all over the place and made me learn where things were in the Wilderness. I had heard of some of these places like the Altar of Rune or the God Wars dungeon, but I had never been there myself. I learned where those were because I had to. I don't know if I'm alone when I say this, but the Wilderness feels pretty empty. Not just player density wise, but also the land itself. I feel like more often than not, I was running around in just kind of an open area. Now, I could make the argument that since the Wilderness is so dangerous, there aren't as many people out here, it's more shady businesses and stuff like that, and that makes sense from a story perspective, but as a player, it just felt kind of empty. It's just a lot of running around and not seeing a whole lot of anything. But we arrive at the end of the easy diary entries, and those are completed. And the total amount of deaths and PKs for the easy diaries? Just 1. It's not too bad. Now it's time for the medium entries. I have to say, the Wilderness entries were some of the fastest that I had completed. It still took me a few hours in total, but overall it was really fast. That's probably because there was no quest requirements that I hadn't already completed. I need to mine some mithril ore in the Wilderness. Okay, done. Chop some yew log from an ent in the Wilderness. These things look awesome. I've always been a fan of ents and tree beings in fantasy settings. While doing these entries, I felt a lot like that SpongeBob episode where they're working the night shift. It's just a bunch of normal tasks, just in the Wilderness, just instead of at night. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably too young to be watching my videos. When did that come out? 2002. Cool. That was 21 years ago. I'm gonna go crawl into a fucking hole now. Specifically this hole right here because I need to enter into the God Wars dungeon. Holy shit, I'm good at segues. Now, normally I have the wiki open with these entries, but being the expert that I am, I didn't really use it at all. And I wish I had because this could have saved me a bit of time. But just know that we'll be coming back here pretty soon. I've got to complete a lap of the agility course in the Wilderness. This course is super short. Does that mean the XP rates are pretty good here? More laps an hour means more XP, right? It is kind of a dick move to just place some skeletons here though. Can you PK here? Is this place safe or not? I have so many questions about the Wilderness since I've never spent any time here. The only 2 places that I was really familiar with was Ferox Enclave and the Chaos Altar. Speaking of Ferox, I need to teleport there so I can kill a green dragon. I know there's a spawn just north of it, so I equip my anti-fire shield. So you may have noticed my gear while doing the entries. I had an epiphany that since I'm getting free gear that I can replace whenever I want, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and use that for my gear in the Wilderness, because if I were to die, I wouldn't really lose anything other than just a bit of my time reclaiming all of the different pieces. I thought this was a brilliant idea. Let's see how that plays out for me. Here's where someone in the comments tells me that if I get PK'd with all my diary gear, like the diaries get reset or some shit like that. Oh well, let's get to killing. First, the green dragon, simple enough. Then an Anku, which I remember running past all those times I did Dragonbone runs. Guys, I think I'm actually learning how to play this game. That's nuts. The Anku is dead, and now I need to charge an Earth Orb. I look up how to do that because I don't know how to play this game at all. And okay, it looks like I need to get some Earth Runes, some Cosmic Runes, and an Unpowered Orb, and to be near the Earth Obelisk in the Edgeville dungeon. I safe spot behind this pillar and have a bit of trouble figuring out what I need to do, but we get there in the end nonetheless. Now I need to kill a Bloodveld in the Wilderness God Wars dungeon. Remember when I said we'd be back? Yeah, now's the time. I get my gear back on and bring some food in order to get this done. Man, this place is fucking mean. I got lucky to only have melee creatures hit me here so I can have prey melee up, but entering this dungeon was a close call. Alright, cool. The Bloodveld is dead and now we just need to leave. And I'm dead. Fuck. Okay, well, let's go test out our theory. And I forgot to record me picking up all of my gear, but I was able to retrieve all of it once again with no problem. So it worked out exactly how I thought it would. Nice, I'm the fucking best. Talked to this guy about emblems. I don't really know what that means, but here we are. He's been talked to. Now I need to smith a gold helmet in the resource area. No problem at all. Let me just make my way over to the mage arena. Nah, shit, I need a knife. Okay, let me hop worlds until I find one that has the web slashed away already. All right, cool. Got some ore and a pickaxe just in case, and now I need to head over to the resource area. Oh, I need to pay to enter. Shit. Okay, back to the mage arena. Let me check how much it costs. 7,500 GP. Holy shit, that's expensive, don't you think? Fine, whatever, just let me in. Okay, I can smelt the gold here, no problem. And I forgot a hammer. I hate it here. Cool. Back to mage arena to get the hammer. Another 7,500 spent. Now I can finally make the helmet. Wait. What? What do you mean? Where's my crafting menu? I had no idea what was happening here, so I had to look it up, and as it turns out, you can only have one gold helmet at a time. Why? I've got no fucking clue, because those are the rules, I guess? So, once again, I head back into the mage arena, discard my helmet that's in my bank, pay another 7,500 gold, and then finally have this helmet made. This step is the one that took me the longest. For no good reason other than I just kept forgetting shit. For no other good reason than I just kept forgetting shit. And the game has a weird arbitrary rule about having more than one gold helmet. There are people who collect burnt food and have millions of them in their bank. But 2 gold helmets? No. Fuck you, you criminal. Only 1 is allowed. The last entry is to open a muddy chest in the lava maze. This time I looked ahead to see if there were any classic RuneScape shenanigans, and there was. Kind of. I just have to kill some chaos dwarves in order to get the key for the muddy chest. That's not a problem. And because I'm awful, I didn't record the original kill, so here's me getting another one for posterity's sake. No joke, for the first key it took me 1 kill. But we got the key and you can all see it, and we make our way into the lava maze. Pretty simple stuff, running around past these enemies and opening up the chest, and we get nothing very good, to be honest. But that's alright. Instead of running back, this demon here is going to kill me and send me back home. Alright, any day now. I'm kicking the shit out of this dude's ankles. Finally, I'm dead, thank God. We return to the Lesser Fanatic and claim our second sword and get these rewards. The total amount of PKs in this video? 0. I barely saw anybody. I don't know, it was probably the world that I'm on, but I saw almost no other people in the wilderness. It was wild. And that, my friends, is all of the medium diaries complete. We have a full set of gear and this extra banner. We've done it. It might not seem like the biggest achievement compared to getting a fire cape done, but I have to say I really enjoyed running around this game. Each of the diaries let me explore a part of the game and interact with NPCs and areas that I had never really been before. I maintain that they're a great way for new players to be introduced into the different zones of the game and to teach them how to play. They give you good teleports, good map knowledge, and they're just an excellent tool for someone who's trying to get into RuneScape because it's such a deep and daunting game. And that is where we are going to end, for now at least. I have some ideas for what is to come in my RuneScape career, some more goals in mind for the account, and I'll be working on that in the background. But for now, this is going to be the end of Season 2. I want to say thank you to everyone that has watched, commented, subscribed, and supported in their own way. I never really thought that I would get any sort of audience making these things, and you all changed that. Just like in Season 1, there's going to be a bit of a break in RuneScape content, but I'll be doing my very best to put out other stuff that fills in the gaps. Until then, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in Season 3. Goodbye. Hi there, Current Time Dool here. This is going to be the last upload of the year. Obviously, because it's coming out on the 31st. And I just wanted to take a second at the end of this long video to say thank you to everyone that's watched, subscribed, commented, or just shared my videos. 2023 was a crazy year for my YouTube channel. Didn't ever think I would get any sort of audience, but here I am talking to a few thousand people. So just wanted to say thanks. I've got more stuff planned for 2024. I hope you guys enjoy it. There's going to be a new season of my RuneScape content coming out, so don't worry about that. There's also going to be other content as well. I'm not going to stop doing that stuff. It's going to catch on one of these days, I promise. But until then, thank you all so much for watching again. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you all next year. Bye-bye.